Today we welcome Australian Country Manager of Shekel Brainweigh, Danny Nadri, to the studio. Thanks for joining us today, Danny. It's a pleasure to have you here with us at the Market Herald studios.
Thank you, Julia. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Now, Shekel Brainweigh's game-changing technology can be used in a number of different applications, one of which is in an autonomous store. Why did Shekel decide to create this?
Look, it's really an industry trend that started, I would say, almost 10 years ago, when retailers, grocery retail across the world understood that they cannot do a 1,000 square meter shop in every large urban place. You know, it may be okay in Sydney, but it doesn't work in Beijing or in Shanghai or in New York. It's just hard. So the trend of the industry was always go small and closer to the client. So I would want to have as many locations as possible closer to the client. The problem with this concept was always manning this little store. So, you know, you put 2 or 3 people, is it 2 shift? Is it 24/7? How do you make this a concept that on the one hand provides enough products closer to the clients and at the same time is operationally efficient and not too expensive? That's where we start looking at this market as very interesting to us. When we developed the new technology, it was a dead-on fit to what this industry needed. And bringing the solutions to market is what we see today, maturing after 4 years of development. The really exciting stuff happened about October of last year, when after almost 10 months of development across territory between Israel and France, during COVID, without being able to fly, the 2 teams worked together, and in October or November 2020, introduced our first capsule. The French called it Black Box. And it's a really cool concept of an autonomous store today in Clichy in Paris. And we look at this as the first major development reaching maturity with this solution. The exciting things that happened since then is another project with a major pharmaceutical retailer in Israel, already going with Hitachi Vantara. And that was really exciting because we now see other industry, not just grocery retail, but pharmaceutical and DIY stores, and looking at this concept. The idea is eventually you walk into a store, be it a 20 square meter container, you walk in, you take whatever you want, and you just walk out.
But what makes Shekel Technology stand out in the crowd when compared to its competitors?
Look, the idea started with Amazon Go. And maybe even prior to this, but most of the industry looked at technology solution around optics and machine vision. I want to photograph something, and when I photograph it, I know that this is Julia, and I associate these products to Julia as she walked through the store. It doesn't work very efficiently with cameras detecting product. They may be able to detect Julia and look at your face and follow you as you walk. It's very hard to do this when you pick up 3 chocolate bars from underneath the shelf to understand, did I pick up 3 or did I pick up 1? Is it really that the camera picked it up? That's where our technology came in. We have superior technology in sensor detection. We're able to track anything that moves on the shelf in a very efficient manner. And not only this, it's a very cost-effective solution. So when you consider different solutions today in the market, they're extremely expensive, in the millions to set up shops. Our first shop, I think, was in the hundreds of thousands. And we are definitely much more equipped to scale up in large numbers using our technology than what we think cameras can do. And we think that's the major benefit. And the really strong additional advantage is the cooperation with Hitachi Vantara, Hitachi from Japan, on their UK branch. We announced this cooperation about 8-10 months ago, if I recall. And they brought in a sensor, which is a LiDAR sensor. It's a laser-based radar sensor instead of camera. And their sensor is so superior, and it doesn't hurt your privacy, it doesn't look at you, but still does an excellent job following a consumer while we follow on the product. And once we associate products to consumer, that's where the autonomous play is happening. The great thing about the cooperation with Hitachi is that it's not only a technology cooperation, they're actually helping us with reaching out to the market. They're actually on the marketing side as well. And they're the one integrating the project in Israel today. So it's a really, really exciting cooperation. And to see Hitachi participate with us in this effort is such a great boost to know that we are on track with these large names.
Well, yes, Hitachi is quite a substantial household name when it comes to technology. What can you tell us about some of the other relationships Shekel Brainweigh has established in this space?
Yeah, it's quite unique to think of a relatively small company from Israel, less than 200 people with operations in Asia, but still selling to a very large powerhouses like GE Healthcare, Fujitsu, Toshiba, Atom. It takes a commitment to excellence and to quality assurance. These guys have operation everywhere. They could choose any supplier, whether it's in Australia, in Israel, in Peru, or in the UK. And by them choosing us, in many cases on an exclusive basis, we are the only one providing them with this type of technology. That gives us a really strong assurance that we're actually on the right track with these people. Now, working with large brands like this is obviously more difficult in the sense that it's challenging. You have to have the right quality in place. You really have to have the right factory in place. They will check you every 6 months. You will have to keep your quality to the same level. So that is a challenge, if you will. But at the same time, this is the market reach that we want to reach. We want to see these large companies help us when we introduce the new technology. And the other exciting stuff that happened recently with Intel, where Intel looked at what we do and invited Shekel to sit on the table with the big boys looking at the future of retail. They now put us in our website as the Innovendi, one of our solution, a market-ready solution, which is quite exciting to see our name as a gold partner of Intel on their website. So that would be, I think, another major boost of confidence that we're on the right track. We have to keep on doing this.
Well, thank you, Danny. A lot to look forward to for Shekel Brainweigh. It's been great talking with you, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Same here, and thank you for the opportunity, Julia. It's been a pleasure.